What happened to Jo and her team in Iran? Joy and her group eventually reached the point where the borders of Iraq and converge. The objective, the type of enemy they were up against, the projected time of arrival of the backup in case things didn't work out as planned, and the risks involved were all explained to them. Jo made it quite plain that if their initial attack didn't go as planned, then she would travel to the battlefield together with her teammates. Jo was obstinate, and she refused to listen to anyone when Bobby advised her not to because she wasn't in the best physical shape. Typically, a team of 4 people entered an Apache, and the army base commander was adamant on giving Josephina a crew. Jo stepped in, though, and she informed him that only Cruz would go with her. Cruz and Josephina ambushed the convoy carrying the 2 nuclear experts while they were flying together. After destroying a few vehicles, the helicopter was shot down by a tank. Cruz and Josephina survived, but their injuries were severe. Josephina's left leg wasn't feeling well, so she was unable to move. With their distance camouflage, the snipers seized control and let Josephina and Cruz go shelter behind a boulder. After learning of the strike, the Iranian soldiers departed their base in full force. Jo's team also made it in time, but they were outnumbered and well equipped by the enemy. Jo and her squad bravely fought while literally risking their lives. During the Lioness Season 2 finale, there was a moment when it seemed impossible for anyone to survive. However, the fighter jets pounded the Iranian tanks, and the USCAS crew arrived on schedule. Although the mission was successfully completed, everyone was aware that it was entirely dependent on chance and that things could have gone either way. At the end, Jo sobbed because she realized she had actually touched death and returned. She closed her eyes and thought about her family at that precise moment, when bullets were coming from both ends. She was not going back alive, she reminded herself. At the end, Cruz assured Jo that she would never have put her life in danger like that if she had a family. However, Jo confidently informed her that she was mistaken and that she would have acted in the same way. She felt as though everything came to an abrupt halt, which is why Jo eventually broke down. She didn't take her life for granted at the time. She seemed to remember those moments on the battlefield for the rest of her life, and they felt like 1,000 years. Jo isn't going anywhere, in my opinion, but she would undoubtedly have a different viewpoint after what she went through in Iran. I don't think Jo is capable of taking a desk job, but Neil still wants her to do it. Regarding Cruz and Josephina, it wouldn't surprise me in the least if they ever began dating. For me, Season 2's high point was how individuals like Edwin and Byron accepted accountability when it was due. Since he couldn't have decided to proceed with the mission without notifying the president, Edwin had to have a great deal of faith in his team. I think that in order to protect the nation and its institutions, the United States of America will require soldiers that are fearless, patriotic, and devoted in the future.